Don't distort the gifts of God, and walk in faith. Let your faith grow. And if you're having a hard time with faith, remember that encouraging exercise. I am thankful for my hair. I am thankful for my car. I am thankful for the road. I am thankful for cotton candy. I am thankful for YouTube. I am thankful for you. Hello, January 2024, and we are making it happen. So what are we doing? We are pursuing our dreams, goals, visions, acts of purpose and service. So whatever that is, there's a million ways to say one thing. Those are all different ways to say the one thing, is to get going on what God put you on this planet for. So we begin every one of our videos off holding the world in prayer. We have a special focus towards Lahaina, Maui, as they continue to, and Kula, and the whole island of Maui, Olovalu, who lots going on. Oahu, with its water crisis and other things, and the Big Island, and just the Hawaiian Islands. But we're also holding up the whole world. There are things going on around the world in Ohio, Palestine, Ohio, and Palestine, and Israel, in Washington, in Canada, all over the world. So we're going to just lift these cares up. We're focusing on healing, love, joy, peace, and we're just focusing in those places, okay? But whatever needs to be sent, but we're lifting up the world. So here we go. Okay, and we're just going to lift the world up to God. Just cast our cares on God, for He cares for us. All right, so what are we doing? We are doing Neville Goddard's At Your Command. And there are just so many beautiful nuggets or pearls or whatever keys, whatever you want to use as your door opener. But so many beautiful pearls in how he is telling us to use our imagination, to use our mind, to use our hearts in order to manifest our dreams. And we're here to do higher order values and to multiply forward in the higher order value ways. So courage and above. So love, peace, joy, healing, the good things. Okay, so where we left off, we're going to get back to where we left off. So Neville was saying to not be anxious or concerned about results. He was saying that sure as the day follows the night, so it shall be. He also talked about not choking off our desires in the soil by grasping onto it too hard mentally and basically crushing it. We want to be able to drop them in the soil, fertile soil, with confidence. And we want to be able to have that feeling and that knowing that it will be. So we're going to keep going. Let's keep going on. That's where we left off. So that fertile seed in that fertile soil is going to bring that fertile dream, that fertile vision, that fertile purpose, that fertile act of service, that fertile whatever goal forward. Okay, so picking up where we left off. Such accepting. So we're in that fertile seed with the fertile soil and the fertile business or whatever it is. So whatever it is, keep it in, close to the vest. Are you becoming a nurse? Are you becoming a lawyer? Are you becoming a homeowner? What are you becoming? What are you already? What are you allowing? So here we go. Such acceptance of your desire is like dropping seed, fertile seed, into prepared soil. For when you can drop the thing desired in consciousness, confident that it shall appear, you have done all that is expected to you. Okay, so Neville hit this up. Neville says, but to worry or be concerned about the how of your desire, maturing is how those fertile seeds get in a mental grasp and therefore are never dropped in the soil of confidence. So cancel, that's not going to happen for us. We will take those fertile seeds, drop them in the fertile soil, and we will see the fertile becoming of whatever it is. So the reason men condition their desire. So Neville, he lays down the law, but he also gives you like how to navigate the fork in the road or the obstacles in the way, right? He knows human behavior. He knows the human mind. He knows the human condition, and he's speaking to what he knows might be the thing that will hinder us. So the reason men condition their desires is because they constantly judge after the appearance of being. So, you might look at somebody and say, well, that person looks really wealthy, but in actuality, that person is in major debt and maybe everything's on credit, right? So man is constantly judging after the appearance of being and see the things as real, forgetting that the only reality is the consciousness back of them. There is a condition where sometimes women can convince themselves they're pregnant, and they will have signs like they're pregnant, and they won't have their periods, and they'll even, get enlarged like they're pregnant, but they're, pseudo-pregnancy, and they're not really pregnant. So here is an idea, or the person who appears to be wealthy but has everything on credit. Neville was saying they're constantly judging after the appearance of being and seeing the thing as real, forgetting that the only reality is the consciousness back of them, right? So in the military, a lot of times they would say is perception is reality. So if you make yourself appear as a good leader, you will be a good leader, or you will appear to be a good leader. So anyway, to see things as real is to deny that all things are possible to God. The man who is imprisoned and sees himself four walls as real is automatically denying the urge or promise of God with him of freedom. Oh yeah. So if we see ourselves imprisoned, we will maintain being imprisoned, and we are also denying that God can do all things, everything, and the promise of God within us for freedom. A question often asked when the statement is made is, if one's desire is a gift of God, how can you say that if one desire to kill a man, that such a desire is good and therefore God sent? Okay, so let's hear what Neville has to say, because we know we do not kill or harm or hurt, destroy. We don't do these things. Higher order values. We are part of the New Earth social memory complex. This is a higher state of being. We are not dropping into our lower states. But anyway, Neville is saying, if one's desire is a gift of God, how can you say that if one desires to kill a man, that such a desire is good and therefore God sent? And Neville says, what has Neville said? Drum roll. In answer to this, let me say that no man desires to kill another. Thank you, Jesus. When he does desire, okay, listen to this, very key. What he does desire is to be freed from such a one. That's right. If you've ever been in any kind of situation where somebody is tormenting you or abusing you or anything, what you really want is to be free of that situation and free from such a one. So, but because he does not believe that the desire to be free from such a one contained within itself the powers of freedom. Okay, let me read that again. But because he does not believe, so they're not believing that the desire to be free from such a one, so to be free from that one, contains within it, so that desire, I want to be free, this person does not believe that desire itself to have the power of freedom. Did you get that? So what we believe, what we stand in is what will be. So he conditions that desire and sees the only way to express such freedom, this is so sad, is to destroy the man. Okay, so the person desires to be free, but in that seed itself does not believe that desire is enough, and therefore comes the action of destroying a man. So forgetting that the life wrapped within the desire has ways that he, as man, knoweth not of. And the Bible tells us, God says, vengeance is mine. Sometimes we need to trust in the process and God's timing. It may look bleak, but God will raise you up in the timing you're not expecting. Also, it says that God is made strong in our weakness. And when you begin to realize that, you think, how the heck could that be? But you start to realize is when you're in your own power, you're pushing and you're moving and you're trying to control, God's ways are higher and they're unlimited. So sometimes when you do get humbled and you're in that weak state, then God can fully move and move the obstacles and take the mountain down and move out the one that needs to be out of your way. But anyway, okay. So its ways are past finding out. So Neville's saying God's ways are past finding out, unlimited. Thus, man distorts the gifts of God through his lack of faith. Okay, so hear this again. Man distorts the gifts of God through his lack of faith. Now, Neville he loved people and he wanted everybody to be their best, to do their best. He inspired everyone to, if they wanted wealth, if they wanted social status, if they wanted to dance, if they wanted to sing, if they wanted to create a show, or if they wanted to travel, whatever it was, as long as it was harming no one, he encouraged it. He wanted people to have their best life. A lot of people came to him for his treatments to manifest money so they could get out of poverty or whatever it was. And he wasn't a man that didn't face his own, darkness and demons and things, right? But what he's saying here is really important. Man distorts the gifts of God through their lack of faith. And if we have, sometimes something really bad can be happening, but if you keep your chin up and you walk through it with faith, God is going to come through in ways that you couldn't imagine. The other thing is that many of us, a lot of times we don't wake up through like cupcakes and cotton candy. A lot of us wake up because life smacked us in the head or the heart or somewhere through a life event that was hard. And in that process, we are like calling out to God or maybe calling out to something else. And we are like wanting it to be fixed and solved. And it's actually through that process that how else will you develop faith unless you are challenged, unless you are tasked with some kind of hardship to build that muscle of faith. And so I want to encourage you, do not distort the gifts of God through lack of faith. And that's what's beautiful about this community. Our faith, each and every one of us, is building every day. When we commune in these videos, when we hold Lahaina and the world in our prayers, and Oahu, the Big Island, and Palestine, and Israel, and Canada, and France, and Italy, and we hold Saudi Arabia, and Dubai, and Japan, Korea, Philippines, when we hold the world up in our hearts, with our hearts and minds aligned for the best outcomes, and we're walking in faith, God can do great things. And so I want to just encourage you, do not go to, don't think that your desire to be free in itself cannot free you. And if you're going through challenging times, take it as a chance. Like, challenges are the breakfast of champions. You're a champion. So how are you going to become a champion if you're always being fed, sweet Pop-Tarts and cotton candy and things? It's through the hardships of life. So I want to encourage you to don't distort the gifts of God and walk in faith. Let your faith grow. And if you're having a hard time with faith, remember that encouraging exercise. I am thankful for my hair. I am thankful for my car. I am thankful for the road. I am thankful for cotton candy. I am thankful for YouTube. I am thankful for you. Right? Raise yourself up and you will begin to realize, okay, God is unlimited. He can do it anyway. And I'm going to walk in faith because the world is in need of your dreams, goals, visions, purposes, and acts of service. This is the time. The energy is being released on the earth. You get to choose where you stand. Stand for love. Stand for joy. Stand for healing. stand for courage, stand for hope, stand for the higher order values. And then not only stand, walk it out and let people see the light of God that lives in you. So, okay, that's At Your Command with Neville Goddard. Boom, boom. And we're in that Happy New Year vibe. We're not afraid of work here. We know that actions are part of manifesting. So we're going to do the mind. We're going to have our affirmations. We're going to do our hearts wide open, heart and mind aligned. But we're also going to take action. So right now would be a great time to take action of liking, subscribing, and leaving your positive comments. You never know who in our community might see your positive comment, and it might speak right to their heart and lift them right out of a dark night of the soul or some other situation that we don't know of, but that we're here to lift people out of. So no self-harm, no numbing out, no overeating, no suicide, none of these things. You are precious. You are here on purpose, for a purpose. I am praying for each and every one of you, and you matter. So put in the, we keep things close to our vest, what we're creating, but put in the comments a time when you succeeded at something. We talk about holding a state, right? I'm going to do something about that later, but holding a state, start pulling yourself into a state of joy or peace or wealth. Just let it flush through your body and then let it be magnetic. Yeah, you feel that? Yeah. All right, so on that note, thank you for joining me, and I'll be praying for each and every one of you. And until then, may you be in and at peace.